Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about 6 remarkable animals that vanished from existence, consumed by our insatiable desire for novelty on our plates, so let's begin. Top of the list is woolly mammoth. The woolly mammoth is an extinct species of mammoth that lived during the Pleistocene until its extinction in the Holocene epoch. It was one of the last in a line of mammoth species, beginning with the African Mammuthus subplaniferans in the early Pliocene. The woolly mammoth began to diverge from the steppe mammoth about 800,000 years ago in East Asia. Its closest extant relative is the Asian elephant. The woolly mammoth was roughly the same size as modern African elephants. The woolly mammoth was well adapted to the cold environment during the last ice age. Most woolly mammoth populations disappeared during the late Pleistocene and mid-Holocene, coinciding with the extinction of most North American Pleistocene megafauna. This extinction formed part of the Quaternary extinctions, which began 40,000 years ago and peaked between 14,000 and 11,500 years ago. On number 2 is great auk. The great auk is a species of flightless alcid that became extinct in the mid-19th century. It was the only modern species in the genus Penguinus. It is not closely related to the birds now known as penguins, which were discovered later by Europeans and so named by sailors because of their physical resemblance to the great auk. It bred on rocky, remote islands with easy access to the ocean and a plentiful food supply, a rarity in nature that provided only a few breeding sites for the great auks. The bird was 75 to 85 centimeters tall and weighed about 5 kilograms. The Little Ice Age may have reduced the population of the great auk by exposing more of their breeding islands to predation by polar bears, but massive exploitation by humans for their down drastically reduced the population, with recent evidence indicating the latter alone is likely the primary driver of its extinction. Next on the list is Eurasian Oryx. The oryx is an extinct cattle species, considered to be the wild ancestor of modern domestic cattle. With a shoulder height of up to 180 centimeters in bulls and 155 centimeters in cows. It was one of the largest herbivores in the Holocene. It had massive elongated and broad horns that reached 80 centimeters in length. The oryx was part of the Pleistocene megafauna. It probably evolved in Asia and migrated west and north during warm interglacial periods. The oryx declined during the late Holocene due to habitat loss and hunting, and became extinct when the last individual died in 1627 in Jaktoro Forest in Poland. In southern Sweden, the oryx was present during the Holocene climatic optimum until at least 7,800 years BP. The latest known oryx fossil in Britain dates to 3245 years BP, and it was probably extinct by 3,000 years ago. Coming up next is passenger pigeon. The passenger pigeon or wild pigeon is an extinct species of pigeon that was endemic to North America. Its common name is derived from the French word passager, meaning passing by, due to the migratory habits of the species. The scientific name also refers to its migratory characteristics. The morphologically similar mourning dove was long thought to be its closest relative. A very fast flyer, the passenger pigeon could reach a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. The bird fed mainly on mast, and also fruits and invertebrates. The last recorded nest and egg in the wild were collected in 1895 near Minneapolis. The main reasons for the extinction of the passenger pigeon were the massive scale of hunting, the rapid loss of habitat, and the extremely social lifestyle of the bird, which made it highly vulnerable to the former factors. Deforestation was driven by the need to free land for agriculture and expanding towns. Up next is Steller's sea cow. Steller's sea cow is an extinct sirenian described by Georg Wilhelm Steller in 1741. At that time, it was found only around the Commander Islands in the Bering Sea between Alaska and Russia. Its range extended across the North Pacific during the Pleistocene epoch, and likely contracted to such an extreme degree due to the glacial cycle. It is possible indigenous populations interacted with the animal before Europeans. Steller first encountered it on Vitus Bering's Great Northern Expedition when the crew became shipwrecked on Bering Island. Within 27 years of its discovery by Europeans, the slow-moving and easily caught mammal was hunted into extinction for its meat, fat, and hide. When Europeans discovered them, there may have been only 2,000 individuals left. This small population was quickly wiped out by fur traders, seal hunters, and others who followed Vitus Bering's route past its habitat to Alaska. It was also hunted to collect its valuable subcutaneous fat. Last on the list is dodo. The dodo is an extinct flightless bird that was endemic to the island of Mauritius, which is east of Madagascar in the Indian Ocean. The dodo's closest genetic relative was the also extinct Rodriguez solitaire. The two formed the subfamily Raphini, a clade of extinct flightless birds that were a part of the family which includes pigeons and doves. The closest living relative of the dodo is the Nicobar pigeon. Subfossil remains show the dodo was about 1 meter tall and may have weighed 10.6 to 17.5 kilograms in the wild. Like many animals that evolved in isolation from significant predators, the dodo was entirely fearless of humans. This fearlessness and its inability to fly made the dodo easy prey for sailors. Although some scattered reports describe mass killings of dodos for ships' provisions, but human predation is not the main factor for the extinction of the bird. Some other known causes are deforestation, flash floods, and predation by other animals, especially macaques. That's all for today. See you in another video.